What happens the second you die? Not what you believe, not what you hope. What actually happens? Scientifically, your heart stops. 30 seconds later, your brain cells begin to die. But in those final moments, something extraordinary happens. Your brain floods with DMT, the same psychedelic that causes hallucinations. But this dose is massive, overwhelming. Time slows down or speeds up. Your life flashes before your eyes. Not metaphorically, actually. Your hippocampus releases every memory at once. 7 minutes. That's how long your brain stays active after your heart stops. 7 minutes of pure consciousness, without a body. What happens during those 7 minutes? What do you experience? And more importantly, what comes after? Today, I'm showing you 7 scientific theories about what happens when you die. Some are beautiful, some are terrifying, and by the end, you'll never think about death the same way again. Welcome to the Sal Enigma. Let's find out what's waiting. When you die, your pineal gland releases all its DMT at once. This isn't speculation, this is measured, documented. DMT is called the spirit molecule. It's the most powerful psychedelic known to science, and your brain makes it naturally. People who smoke DMT report the same thing, seeing otherworldly beings, entering different dimensions, experiencing eternity in 15 minutes. But when you die, the dose is bigger, much bigger, and it lasts longer. 7 minutes of the most intense psychedelic experience possible. Is this what seeing the light is? Is this heaven? Or is your brain just drowning in neurochemicals as it shuts down? We don't know, but we know this. Every culture, every religion describes the same thing. A tunnel, a light, a feeling of peace. Maybe we all die the same way because we all have the same brain chemistry. Or maybe we're all seeing the same thing, because it's real. Theory 1. Nothing. When you die, you die. Consciousness ends. Your sense of self disappears. Forever. This is the materialist view. Consciousness is just neurons firing. When the neurons stop, consciousness stops. Like turning off a computer. There's no afterlife, no reincarnation, no judgment. Just nothing. The same nothing you experienced before you were born. Most neuroscientists believe this. Your brain creates consciousness. Damage the brain, you damage consciousness. Destroy the brain, consciousness ends. Is this comforting or terrifying? On one hand, no hell, no punishment, no eternal suffering, just peace, eternal dreamless sleep. But on the other hand, nothing. You'll never think again, never feel again, never exist again. This moment right now, it's all you get. Theory 2. Quantum immortality. You never actually die, you just keep living, forever, in parallel universes. This comes from quantum mechanics, the many worlds interpretation. Every decision, every moment, the universe splits into parallel versions. In some universes, you die in that car crash, but in others, you survive. And your consciousness always follows the timeline where you survive. From your perspective, you're immortal. You'll survive every accident, every disease, every disaster, because there's always a universe where you make it. But everyone around you, they die. You watch them die, over and over. You're the only one who never dies, eternally alone. Eventually, you're the oldest person alive, then the only person alive. Then you're floating in the vacuum of space, still conscious, forever. This is the dark side of immortality. You wanted to live forever. Careful what you wish for. Theory 3. The DMT Breakthrough. Death isn't the end, it's a doorway to another dimension. When you die, that massive DMT flood doesn't shut your consciousness down. It opens it up. You break through to the other side. Thousands of people who've smoked DMT report the same thing. They meet beings, intelligent, conscious beings, in a place that feels more real than here. They call them entities, machine elves, beings of light, and these beings seem to be waiting, like they've been expecting you. When you die, maybe that's where you go, permanently, that DMT realm, that dimension your pineal gland has been trying to show you your whole life. Is this heaven? Is this the afterlife? Or is your dying brain just hallucinating, creating a comforting fantasy as everything shuts down? The people who've been there say it's not a hallucination. They say it's realer than real, and they're not afraid of death anymore. Theory 4. Reincarnation. You die, but consciousness doesn't end. It gets recycled. You're reborn, again and again. This isn't just Eastern religion, it's physics. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. Consciousness might be the same. Children remember past lives, with specific details, names, places, events, that they couldn't possibly know, verified by researchers. Maybe consciousness is like water. It evaporates, becomes clouds, falls as rain, into a new body, a new life, but it's still the same water. Do you remember your past lives? Maybe not consciously, but your fears, your talents, your unexplainable connections to people and places, those might be memories, bleeding through, from the person you were before, the hundreds of lives you've already lived. If this is true, death isn't the end, it's just intermission. You'll be back, different body, different name, same consciousness. You die in this simulation, then you wake up, in the next level, or the real world. If we're in a simulation, death might just be logging out. Your consciousness isn't in this body, it's somewhere else, controlling it remotely. When your avatar dies in a video game, you don't die, you just respawn. Or you take off the VR headset, and you're back in the real world. Maybe that's what death is. You've been playing a character, living a temporary life, and when it ends, you wake up as the real you. The real you might be a higher dimensional being, or a post-human in a lab, or your future self reviewing memories like old home videos. Near-death experiences support this. People report waking up outside their body, watching from above, then being pulled back in. If this is true, you've probably died before, thousands of times, in thousands of simulations, and you'll do it again, forever. Theory 6. Information theory. You never truly die, because the information that makes up you persists forever. In physics, information can't be destroyed. Every particle you've ever interacted with carries information about you. Your pattern, your memories, your personality, they're encoded in the universe, permanently, even after your body is gone. Think of it like this: you're not your body, you're a pattern, a specific arrangement of information, and that pattern is immortal. Future civilizations could theoretically reconstruct you from the information scattered across space-time, bringing you back exactly as you were. Or maybe the universe itself is memory, and you're a permanent part of it, your consciousness woven into the fabric of reality. You're not dying, you're being archived, preserved in the cosmic library, forever accessible, forever part of the universe's story. The strangest, most disturbing theory. You will exist again, in an incomprehensible amount of time. After you die, your atoms scatter. They drift through space, for trillions of years, then trillions more, but eventually, by pure random chance, those atoms will come together again, in exactly the same arrangement, creating you. Again, the odds are 1 in 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 70. But given infinite time, it will happen. You will spontaneously reassemble, but here's the horror. You won't reassemble in a body, just a brain, a conscious brain, floating in empty space, aware, alone. For a brief moment, you'll exist, conscious again, remembering everything. Then entropy takes over, and you disintegrate again. This might happen an infinite number of times. You spontaneously forming, experiencing a moment of consciousness, then vanishing forever. So which theory is correct? Maybe near-death experiences can tell us. Millions of people have died and come back. They report the same things: leaving their body, seeing a tunnel, encountering deceased loved ones, experiencing overwhelming peace and love. Skeptics say it's just brain chemistry, oxygen deprivation, hallucinations. But these people report accurate details from when they were clinically dead. They describe conversations happening in other rooms, events they couldn't have known about, medical procedures performed while they had no brain activity. Maybe near-death experiences are glimpses of what comes next, a preview of death. And if so, it's not scary, it's beautiful. Every person who's had one says the same thing. They're not afraid anymore. They've seen what's waiting, and it's not nothing. 7 theories, 7 different answers. Nothing. Quantum immortality, DMT breakthrough, reincarnation, simulation respawn, information persistence, Boltzmann brains. Which one is real? We don't know. We can't know. Not until we die. And by then, we can't come back to tell anyone. But maybe that's okay. Maybe the mystery is the point. Maybe not knowing makes life more precious, more meaningful. Because if death is nothing, every moment matters. If death is a doorway, this life is preparation. If death is a return, you'll see everyone again. Whatever happens when you die, you're experiencing it eventually. We all are. So maybe the question isn't what happens after. Maybe the question is, what are you going to do with the time you have left? Thanks for watching the Enigma. Live like it matters, because it does.